live today. I don't do lives often, but I felt like coming on here today. I have a couple of questions, just general ed questions about the world, this beautiful world that we live in. I hope you guys can hear me. I hope so. Anywho, so first question. When birds fly, do their wings get tired? Isn't that a random question? But it's not completely random because I would genuinely, I would genuinely like to know when birds fly, do their wings get tired? Because their wings are their arms, and they're lifting their whole body with them. So, do they get tired? It's like if we were running all the time, kind of, because our legs could be equivalent to their wings because that's how they move through their wings. So, they're always flapping their wings. And this is a very serious question for me. Do they ever get tired, their arms? Maybe that's why they rest in trees when they get tired. So that's one of my questions. I think I have found the answer that they do get tired, just like our legs get tired, and that's when they rest. I got my answer to that. Another question for today is, do you have to put on makeup when you go outside? Because that sometimes you don't want to do it. Sometimes that can get tiring. So, what if you don't? And this question is for everybody, guys, girls, friends, family, anybody, whoever is listening. Do you ever feel like you don't want to put on makeup, but you have to? Because do you have to put on makeup? That is my second question. Do you have to put on makeup? So I've arrived at the conclusion that you don't. You don't have to put on. This thing is on, right? Yeah. I was just checking the green light. Do you see my green light? Yeah. So I've arrived at the conclusion that you don't have to put on makeup all the time when you go outside. Sometimes you can just go as you are. Because what are we hiding? When we put on makeup, what is it that we are doing with it? Are we, like a product says, this helps you close your pores. This helps you smooth out your skin tone. This helps you look fresh and awake, hydrating, tightening, brightening. There's so many more. Let me think. There's so many things written on makeup these days. This will make your under eyes not be baggy. This would make you look more awake. This would bring a glow on your face. What else is there? There are so many fun ones. This would um like put on blue mascara, put on black mascara, white mascara. Well, I guess what makeups helps you do is it maybe helps you play with colors. But do you really have to put on makeup every time you go outside? I don't think so. Before I used to think, yes, every time you go outside, you have to put on makeup because that helps you look good. But I don't think that's a very good thing to be thinking about yourself that whenever you go in front of other people, you have to use makeup to look good. Because think about it, when you're at home, you don't put on makeup. And then that is what is going on here. So, okay, so this is my question. This is my answer to the second question. You don't have to always put on makeup when you go outside. Just be yourself. If you have a pimple spot, let it show. What's the problem? If you have, um, well, let's let's stop with this thing about evening out your skin, brightening it, making it this or that. Why not just have a healthy skin? And you don't get that from makeup. You get healthy skin from other things like good food and sleep. So, to answer my second question, you don't have to put on makeup every time you go outside. those are only the two questions that I had for today because they were on my mind and I just thought I'll do a live, a very short live. I'll talk to myself because that is always fun. And look, thank you guys. I arrived at very good conclusions. My first conclusion was birds do not get tired when they fly, and because their arms are always flapping their arms. And second, you don't always have to put on makeup when you go outside. Do I have any other questions for myself today? Let me think. How often do you vacuum your carpet? Because I have my vacuum cleaner behind my camera and I need to do it. It's been sitting in my room for a week. So, how often do you vacuum? I put makeup only when I go out with friends because I like being pretty with the people I trust the most. Okay. Someone just posted that they put on makeup when they go out with friends because they like being pretty with the people they trust the most. That is an interesting point. And I like how you use the word trust there. Hmm. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. That's good. So, yeah, yeah, just, because I think at some point it became like a protocol to always put on makeup and look put together and don't show anything that's going on under the surface. And I just think we should normalize not putting on makeup when we go outside. If that is making you feel good, then just go out with your natural skin. And you know what? That's gonna let some air hit your skin. Because makeup, imagine, it's just it layers your skin and then nothing's penetrating. Well, sunblock. Don't forget sunblock. So those are my three questions. I was on my third question of the day. How often do you vacuum your carpet? Because I need to vacuum my room and I need to find that motivation because there's so much other stuff that I want to do. But then again, the space that you're living in needs to be clean and it needs to be for your health. So look at me. I came in with two questions and I answered three. Always vacuum your room. Okay, guys, I'm going to head out now because was going to be a short live and I feel like vacuuming my room now. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around, for commenting, and for your answers. Bye, friends. See you next time.